Salam. My name is Sheikh Abu Hakim Abdullah, President Chairman of Al Masjid Sharia Allah, a non-profit religious organization operating in the state of Rhode Island, USA. Well, like I always say, I've been talking to you for some time and trying to get things right, trying to reform, trying to bring us back to the Salatul Mustaqim. And the way Allah intended for us to be. Not the way we want to do it, but the way Allah intended us to do it. I look at a lot of news programs and a lot of documentary from overseas, about overseas in different countries. And I don't see us doing what we're supposed to be doing as Muslims. As the Quran describes our actions and deeds, what we're supposed to be doing. I see us doing as we want to do, still. I don't see us operating and trying to rebuild, trying to build up the Islamic way of life. I see I see us Muslims and so-called believers not trying to build a life existence in Islam on this earth. I see us handling the Islam like it's some kind of secret organization that was only put here for that group of Muslims in that area where they're at, and not put here for any and all mankind, or people kind, or whatever you want to call it, that strive to receive it. Because why I say that is because I don't see people really trying to build a life around Islam. I see them trying to build more of a personal life around that city that they happen to be in at the time. And not building up the deen. I see brothers and sisters going to schools, receiving educations, but not in the name of Allah. And then when they get these educations, they don't jump into an Islamic environment with these educations. They jump into a democratic environment with these educations, a so-called socialist environment with these educations. All the different types of environments that is on this earth, they jumping in and out of, except the environment of Islam. And so Islam is not growing. See, people, the amount of people in Islam might be growing or not growing or whatnot, but I'm not talking, that's not the Islam. The Islam has not established its level in this present society. I don't see, like bottles of water. I see, you know, we involved in things that don't concern us, really. It concerns a different people. We involved as to go to, we go to medical school, and we come out of medical school and instead of opening up hospitals or clinics in the Islamic environment, with an Islamic environment, in an Islamic community, for the Muslims, people, we go to work as doctors in other people's places, the hospitals, and our patients that we get are doing everything in the world, all kinds of businesses, and they're not working for the believers. I want a doctor to show me, let's take a doctor for instance, I want a doctor to show me, where does it say in Islam that you're supposed to save the world? Where does it say in Islam that you're supposed to serve the world or be a servant to all mankind, and serving them with your skills and stuff that keeps them alive or save them from passing away? Let's take, for instance, the Catholics. The Catholics put together hospitals. And when you go into one, You know it's a Catholic hospital because you see a nun walking around, or used to see a nun walking around with her religious garments on, and she's a nurse. And she's got a headpiece on and all that. She's a nurse. That was Catholic hospital. You see the cross on the wall. You see Sister so-and-so statue in the hallway. You see a place to kneel down and think and pray in the street down in front of the building. Another saint or something there. You walk through that like a gauntlet. You walk through all this to get to your medicine or to get to the doctor. You have to walk through that to get to the doctor. It's all up and down the halls and at the doorway where you come in, you know. In the Jewish hospital, you see the same thing, the candles and all that. In the Protestant hospital, you see the same, another thing, crosses and all that. But you don't see a Muslim hospital in a non-Muslim place. We don't have the Catholic hospitals all over everywhere. The Jewish hospitals everywhere. The Protestant hospitals everywhere. But you don't see a Muslim hospital anywhere except in Pakistan, and in other countries that are so-called Islamic. Because any hospital put there's got to be a Muslim hospital. Excuse me. And that's what's happening there. So, where is the Muslim hospital? Where is the Muslims, anything? You see, this is what I'm talking about, you know, like we constantly, like, we want to be servants to the world. It's really difficult to now hear for me in this country to explain this to you without looking like I'm selfish and only thinking about Islam. Well, right now, I'm thinking about and worrying about the position of Islam, the position of the Muslims. Their intentions and whatnot. I'm not sitting here trying to save a Catholic group, a Protestant group, or any other group other than the Muslim group, because I'm a part of it and I like to have part of it to be spread around as Islamic. And so there's no time for me to run around trying to save the world. I'm trying to save the Muslim from becoming duplicators of the world. I'm trying to save the Muslim, keep the Muslim from emulating all the disbelieving things that's going on around the world. This is exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get the Muslim to pray, regardless to where he's at or she's at, except some places where it's not allowed to pray by the book. We must establish our world. That's what I'm trying to show you. We must establish our world. We must cut out our piece of this world, and cut out our piece and say, this is our piece. This is the Catholic piece. This is the Protestant piece. This is the agnostic piece. This is the Hindu piece. You see, this is what we must do, like everybody else. But we don't seem to be doing that. And then we got a bunch of people running around and getting larger that's running around trying to make their own type of Islam. They're trying to make a Christian type Islam. They're trying to become partners in religion. You got Muslims doing what Christians are doing. They got Muslims today that open up beer gardens and selling pork, and open up liquor stores and selling 1/16 bathing suits, something like that, and a string in the back, in the street, in supermarkets, in markets, in stores. We Muslims are not supposed to be involved, even if people want these things, in the clothing that reveals the human body openly. We consider that wrong. Our books consider that wrong, to show these other items to people, to even your own type, the replica of yourself, the female to the female and the male to the male. We can't even do that. But yet we selling these things, and we trading in these things, and we doing the same thing that the disbelievers and the non-believers and whatever you call it, people are doing. And we can't do this, but this is what we're doing. And we're not living our Islam. You see, that's the thing. We go to a prayer, we go to pray. We go to mosque on every day, and on Jumu'ah and whatnot, and we go in there and we pray. And we go from prayers into doing things that are not considered right in Islam. You see, the same person that's picking up these garments and selling these garments to different women and children and whatnot just come out of the mosque swearing his allegiance to righteousness. And yet he come out of the mosque, swear his allegiance to righteousness, and then walk into the devil store and give his allegiance to the devil by selling his products. And this is what we're doing. So this is why I said I don't see the Islam. We got over 1 billion Muslims. Bismillah. Over 1 billion Muslims. And we got trillions of dollars. Alhamdulillah. We got billions of dollars and trillions of dollars. We building all these skyscrapers, buildings that are trying to reach the sky. We're trying to outdo each other on building the tallest building. We building houses and everything for the recreational purposes of the non-believer, which gotta suit their way of life. We putting their way of life inside of our way of life and just moving our way of life away from them so they can practice their way of life. Or when our way of life is mixed in, we don't even care about our way of life anymore. We're worrying about making sure they can practice their way of life. I was in a country, and it was the 4th of July. And the people that was guarding everything that was going on was the Muslim. It was the Muslim police and the Muslim this and the Muslim that, and guarding the embassy. But in this place, there was nudism, there was semi-nudism going on because they had 2 or 3 swimming pools and everybody was in the swimming pool half naked. Then they had trucks with liquor in it and all that kind of stuff, with liquor and beer and stuff inside the trucks. Then they had different kind of meat and stuff, ribs and all that kind of stuff on being cooked up there. And I looked at everybody, I looked at people, and I was by myself. I wasn't there. I was there because it was the American embassy, and there was nothing else, no other place for me to go at this time. It was New Year's Eve, I believe. And I was there it was the 4th of July. That's right, it was the 4th of July. And I had to go there and talk to some people. And I was there alone. I stayed alone in the place because I couldn't socialize with all this that was going on. I'm not made up that way. I'm not made up that way where I want to sit with people that's doing different things contrary to what I think is right or wrong. And so I stayed by myself. Excuse me. But I'm sincere about what I'm doing, and I want you to understand what I'm saying. We're not doing the things we're supposed to do. You go into a store, and unless you look like you're not a Muslim, you don't get salams. If you go in there and looking like a Muslim, they don't want to salam you. For some reason, I didn't ask them why, because I don't want to put the brother or sister in a position to lie to me. So I don't ask them why. I just go in there and I give them what they give to me. and I give them what they give to me. I was taught in Islam that the greatness of my beard puts me on different levels of my salams. And do I stand or do I sit? Am I respected or am I annoyed? You see, this is the kind of thing that I came up in Islam with. So I'm saying to you, I don't see these things here in Rhode Island that much. I walk in a store in Rhode Island, and it's like I'm walking in with nothing on. But I walk in, and those that see me in the street know that I dress the same way they see me on TV. And I dress the same way when I walk out my house. So I'm saying to the world, I'm a Muslim. Now, if you don't like me, or you like me, or whatever you feel about me, that's your business. Keep it to yourself. And that's your thing. That's your problem. You know, that's your problem, your benefit, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm a Muslim. I'm an Orthodox Muslim. I'm a believing Muslim the way it was 1460-something years ago. I believe in Islam the way the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ believed in it. I follow him in my prayers. And I follow him in my person. I dress as a religious person of the East. And I'm happy with it. So, they would think what you want to think, but this is the only way I feel we should live. I'm not a terrorist. I don't believe in terrorism. I believe in Islam. Islam does not tell you to beat up people. It tells you to protect yourself. This is what Islam tells you to do. And Islam tells you to deal in what is right against what is wrong. Now, if people in this country worship wrong, or other countries worship wrong, then Islam tells us to go ahead and don't deal with them and try what we consider is wrong and whatnot. So people got to get their own thing together, and then they be able to find out what Islam is about. But they don't know what Islam is about. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim, maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Ameen.